I still remember that night. The air was thick with fear, and the flames of the torches around King Agumba V's palace flickered like they, too, were afraid of what was to come. The village of Umuobia was in turmoil. Motsi Udora, the chief priest, had spoken, and his words chilled our bones like a harmattan wind. The staff of power, he said, his voice deep like thunder, lies in the heart of the evil forest. If it is not retrieved, darkness will fall upon our land. Whispers ran through the crowd. The evil forest. No man who entered had ever returned. It was a land of restless spirits, wild beasts, and things too dark to speak of. King Agumba V, sitting on his great stool, raised a hand for silence. His voice carried over the anxious murmurs. Whoever brings back the staff of power, he declared, shall have my daughter, Princess Adaobi, as his wife. Gasps filled the air. Every warrior in the kingdom loved Princess Adaobi. She was as kind as she was beautiful. But to win her, one had to survive the horrors of the evil forest. Impossible. Then, from the back of the crowd, he stepped forward. A man so large, he cast a shadow like a tree. His arms were thick as palm trunks, his chest wide like the village square. His eyes, sharp and fearless, looked straight at the king. I, Obi-dike, will go, he said. The people whispered among themselves. Who was he? No one knew where he came from. We only knew one thing, he was a wrestler. The strongest we had ever seen. King Agumba studied him for a moment, then nodded. Very well, he said. At sunrise, you shall begin your journey. That night, the village did not sleep. Women wept, old men shook their heads. He will never return, they said. The evil forest will swallow him like the others. At dawn, Obi-dike stood at the edge of the evil forest, staring into its dark depths. Motsi Udora handed him a small calabash. This charm will help you, he said. But remember, strength alone will not save you. Obi-dike nodded, tied the charm around his neck, and stepped into the forest. For 3 days, we waited. The village was silent. No drumming, no laughter, only fear. On the 4th night, a loud cry echoed from the forest. It was a sound so terrible, it made even the bravest men shiver. Then, footsteps. Obi-dike staggered into the village square. His body was covered in deep wounds, his clothes torn, but in his hand, he held the staff of power. The people gasped. He had done the impossible. King Agumba rose to his feet. Tell us what happened, he commanded. Obi-dike took a deep breath and spoke. The spirits did not attack at first, he said. They whispered, called my name. I ignored them. Then the beast came, hyenas with glowing red eyes, snakes larger than men. I fought them all. But the deeper I went, the stronger they became. My strength began to fail me. He paused, looking at the calabash charm. Then, I remembered Motsi Udora's words. Strength alone would not save me. So I stopped fighting. I listened. He held up the staff of power. And the spirit spoke. They told me the secret of the forest. The staff belonged to the first king of Umuobia. He was buried in the forest, but his spirit was restless. No one had honored him in centuries. Obi-dike knelt. So I did what should have been done long ago. I offered prayers. I poured libations. And the spirits let me go. The village erupted in cheers. King Agumba smiled for the first time in days. You have proven that wisdom is greater than strength, he said. And you have earned your reward. That night, the whole village celebrated. The drums sang, the people danced, and Obi-dike, now a hero, took Princess Adeobi's hand. But in my heart, I knew, it was not strength that saved him. It was something far greater. And that, my children, is the tale of Obi-dike, the wrestler who defeated the evil forest, not with his fist, but with his mind. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to Tale Hub for more amazing tales. Until next time, let the stories live on.